Hello and welcome back to your one and only source. We're your hosts.
My name is Phoebe.
My name is Caroline, and today we are recapping Gossip Girl Season 2, Episode 12, called
It's a Wonderful Lie.
It's a Wonderful Lie. I totally thought it said It's a Wonderful Life, and I was like, they're just going for it. They're just like, that's called plagiarism, by the way. That is called plagiarism, by the way. It's a wonderful lie. Who's the liar?
And you know what? Plagiarism isn't a wonderful lie.
It ain't a wonderful lie. And if you're wondering about,
is a terrible lie.
It's a terrible lie. It's a terrible lie. You think it's a victimless crime? You're wrong. I did tell on the last episode of the Caroline show, I told the story of when I was accused of accidental plagiarism in high school, which I couldn't remember if I'd ever told.
I feel like you've told it in bits and pieces. I don't know if you've ever told it
I went in, I told the whole story. I told the entire story. So if you want to hear it, by the way, exonerated, but definitely go check that out on the Caroline show. But anyway, hello everybody. It's winter in New York. It's winter in New York, and it's making me wish that we were having winter here too, but we're not. So
it's so fucking
we're just
hot.
not.
Today's the peak
still
of
really
our heat
hot
wave.
there? Okay,
Yeah,
so it'll start going down after today.
Yeah, but down. The weather lady was like, relief, the end is near. Relief is coming. We will be back to low 90s by the middle of next week. I was like, right.
That girl.
So
that ain't
I'm
relief.
like relief is like 70.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I feel I'm so ready for autumn. I'm so ready for fall. I'm already lighting the fall candles because I just need to put, I'm so much happier in those few months before the seasonal affective disorder.
I'm not lighting my fall candles yet, but I did go to Target. I did I texted Breck and I said I should be banned from Target. I can't be trusted in here. Because what do you mean I decided to buy an immersion blender on Friday when I went?
Whoa. Well, you want to make your sauces really smooth. I get it.
I do, but it's like I'm going out of town this week. I don't need one right now. But I'm in Target and I'm like, may as well. May as well go over there.
I do it too.
I bought a microplane, things that I didn't need to buy this weekend. Like it's a kind of grater.
Oh, okay.
And it grates things really fine. Anyway, I have a bad cheese grater, and it's good for zesting stuff.
Yeah,
that's really what it's for. But it's also a really effective cheese grater, in my opinion.
Nice.
Anyway, so I just bought things I didn't need to buy. But what I did do, because I always have this gripe with Target, is that they put their fall stuff out when it's 100 degrees, and I don't think to go check because it's 100
but
degrees.
But that's when you have to.
You have to buy it that early.
Because you'll never be able to find it again.
I bought a few fall candles as well because I was like, they're going to be Christmas before. I got a really beautiful... I didn't get it so much for the smell as I got it for how it looked. It was one of the magnolia...
The gold one that looks like a lotus flower almost.
It's no, I did think about getting one of those, but it's like an orange glass. It kind of looks like a pumpkin. It's shallow.
Oh, I think I have the same one.
But I am excited to have it. And then I bought the regular threshold ones that I'm still figuring out which of the scents of the new ones I like the most, because they don't have one that does for me what Cashmere Vanilla did for us.
Dude, it's pissing me off. So keep me posted on that as well, because I've just been doing full volcano. Oh my God, we're having a massive thunderstorm out of nowhere now.
Oh, I wish.
It's crazy loud.
Jealous.
But I did get I don't even want to say it, but I'm not a gatekeeper. But the harvest, whatever the harvest scent for Hearth and Hand is, the magnolia scent, it is always the best fall scent you'll ever smell. And it goes quick. So when it's there, I've only been able to find one in store so far. I'm probably just going to have to order a bunch online because it's the best smell. That, and I also really like the Voluspa, I don't know how you say it, pumpkin spice latte, but it's an expensive candle. But it's really good. And they have a new one I want to try that is Santal Vanilla. And those are two smells I love. So I don't know. Keep us posted. Keep us posted on your favorite fall candles. There used to be one from Bendel's called Chai that I actually died for, but it was so expensive and so small. But Chloe and I would order it and have it. It was the best smell. I feel like Blair Waldorf would have loved it. I feel like Blair's candle scents are very specific, almost like Paige DeSorbo. I feel like Paige DeSorbo is like, these are the scents I use, and any other scents in my home won't be tolerated. You know what I mean? And it's like Blair's that way. And
I'll test just about anything out. For me, I do obviously like that it makes your house smell good, but I also just like the ambience of having candles going.
Yeah. Totally. So anywho, we are in New York, we are in the midst of planning the senior Snowflake charity ball. And Blair, similar to when she's like recruiting new minions for the school year, she's a clipboard with a bunch of applicants for her date. Exactly. For her date. And Serena's sitting there at the school with her, and she's like, I'm confused. Like, these are all people you're considering to take you to the dance. And Blair goes, do you think Angelina Jolie even considers a project without an offer on the table? I'm strictly a pay or play dater. So she's collected her offers, and she will be choosing from the pile. At which point Chuck Bass walks up and is like asking about the guys. And it just, sorry, Blair, he just knows you better than anybody. And he starts like listing off the fatal flaws with each of these men that like will make them unsuitable for her. And instead of her like brushing him off, she genuinely X's out the ones that he has things for, because like he is right at the end of the day. And it's so funny.
Serena makes the assumption that like it will be a short-term situation. Whoever the winner is, it will be short-term. And
Serena gets up and leaves, and he goes, so who's next? Like, they're going to sit down and go through all of them together. It's just hilarious.
So Serena sees Dan and is showing him the present that she got Aaron for Hanukkah, which is a first edition copy of some book.
I didn't even read what it was. And she got it from the old bookstore, the rare bookstore that Dan introduced her to, of course.
Is that
super
the
excited.
Rare bookstore where years later a woman would be kept in the basement of?
Oh, a little Joe Goldberg tie-in here. We might be seeing, nice, Phoebe. Okay. Aaron, of course, will not be attending the ball because he is a Brooklyn artist, and that should be and enough said.
And an adult.
And Serena, might I add, a full-grown adult. But Serena's still going to go. She's going to go solo. And we find out Dan is going too. And he says to her that he's realized some of the best memories of the past 2 years have been at events like that. And I just freeze frame for a second.
I'm going to bookmark this
moment.
I'm going to bookmark this, Dan.
Yeah, I'm not going to forget this, because let's be clear, this is what you've always wanted. You always wanted to be included in events like that. And the only reason you had shit to say about them is because you were not. And then you're like, I fucking love high society. Like, let's just call a spade, my guy.
And Dan is like, well, do you think Aaron will be okay if we hang out at the dance? And she's like, yeah, he literally always talks about his ex, Lexi, and she's actually coming to town. And then she says Dan should come to the gallery with her. To me,
he's in a new installation, and she wants Dan to come see it, which I am like, after last episode, I just don't feel like Dan is welcome in this environment. I don't.
It is his dad's gallery.
Go. Okay, it is his dad. That's true. But I'm also like, hey, aren't you in school?
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah,
need
there's
to
that.
Stay put. Anyway,
she's like, wait, and okay, when we get there, I hate to ask you to lie again, but can you not mention that we were just at school? He thinks
Aaron
I'm 21.
does not know I'm a student. He does not know I'm a student. Yeah, exactly. So we're at the Humphrey Loft. Jenny is trying to stay busy. She's reorganizing her dad's record collection, and she called Vanessa for help because Phoebe, who knows old Ruf better than V,
than his lover.
Yeah. She's like, of course I know everything there is to know about Ruf, but Jenny.
Wait, you said you're sorting these by genre? He's going to hate that.
Oh my God, Jenny. It's like, you don't know him at all. Anyway, so Vanessa's like, Jenny's like, I'm just trying to keep myself busy because the second I stand still, I start thinking about my future. And Vanessa, they're having this like sisterly moment. Vanessa's like, don't worry, your future is going to work itself out. And Jenny, of course, brings up Nate. And she's like, look, I don't want to be awkward, but I don't know what happened with Nate. Do you think I'm totally pathetic? Jenny, I don't think you guys are quite at the point yet where you can be asking Vanessa for advice on this man who pretty much blew up your friendship. I know you don't know what's going on with Vanessa and Nate right now, but it just does seem
a little crazy.
But again, I think that Jenny in her mind is like, this is my big sis V. And like, if I can't talk to her about this, who can I talk to it about, And Vanessa is like, my advice for you is move the hell on. And then Nate calls Vanessa and she leaves. But as she's leaving,
I do just want to say,
yeah.
And we will talk about the show more on Summer Fridays, but I did finish Sterling Point, and there is a line in Sterling Point where someone says, how did you know I'd be here, or like something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the writers wanted to put in, I'm your sister. That's what I do.
That's what I do.
It literally, wow. I was like, You'll know, I think you'll know the moment.
I'm on episode 3, I think, and the only qualm I have so far with this is that the main character is laying in bed texting, but instead of texting, she does voice to text for everything. But she's trying to be quiet, so she's whispering.
Also, and I'm not trying to age shame literally anybody. This girl's younger than me, and she's absolutely beautiful.
She's stunning.
And don't you think she could play Anne Hathaway's daughter? Even some of her mannerisms are very Anne Hathaway. But she, and Anne Hathaway, that is not me saying anything about your age. You could still play someone else's daughter. You don't have to play mom.
Of course.
You literally don't have to. You don't have to play mom. You don't.
But Anne Hathaway is a mom. She is currently pregnant, so I don't even think she would take offense. So don't worry.
Perfect. But when the show started, when she wakes up in her bed and that whole thing, I was like, okay, so this is a show about 20-somethings.
Yeah.
Then we go on to find out that she's going into her senior year.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. And also just the way that she lives her life. I'm like, what do you mean you're just in Canada and no one knows? Yeah. And you're like, okay. It's so funny. These showrunners, I feel like they're like, okay, well, it's loosely set in high school, right? But we're going to write the character like she's 30. And people will go with it. We've been doing this for years. No, but I am really enjoying the show.
So anyway, all that to say, Jenny's like, you're my sister. It's what you do.
It's what Vanessa. You do. You have my back. So Vanessa is leaving as Penelope, one of Blair's minions, walks in and says to Vanessa, hello, weird documentary girl. Which is yeah, let's not forget that. That is how you met these people, Vanessa, and you think it's weird they don't like you.
It is funny to think about how, imagine you have a friend who, has divorced parents, so they live in Upper St. Clair sometimes. Mm-hmm. So they have some friends from Upper St. Clair.
Yeah.
And you're at a party with Mount Lebanon kids.
Yeah.
And this Upper St. Clair kid comes with their video camera, and you only you'd only adjacently know her, and so that is that's how everybody in the school thinks of Vanessa, that weird girl from the other school who came and filmed us.
Vanessa's they don't understand art, they don't understand the documentary process, so they think I'm weird, but the joke will be on them. I will get the last laugh. And she says to Penelope, bye, sad Blair wannabe. And I'm like, sorry, Penelope ate you down with that one. No. We find out Penelope wants to commission a dress from one J. Humphrey for the Snowflake Ball. And Jenny's like, did you forget I hate you? And she goes, this is about fashion, not friendship. And Jenny says, I'm very expensive. And Penelope says, I hope so. And she's going to make Jenny. I am
like, Jenny, hey, you should be jumping for freaking joy right now.
Yeah, you're all stressed out about your future. This is going to give you something to do to occupy your time, but also it directly is a drop in the bucket of what you want to do. So just
exactly, and she's
overcharge her. Who cares? She wants you to.
So
there you go.
Lily is at the venue for the Snowflake Ball, and she's like, "Oh my God, we're going to need another machine. This is not going to be enough
looks
snow."
Like drizzle, not flakes. And Lily is planning this ball, of course, and Rufus shows up because apparently at the last PTA meeting, Lily outed Rufus for his lack of volunteer hours. And so he's here to help up.
I do love the concept of them at the PTA meeting, loudly flirting while arguing in front of all the other parents.
People are talking about it so much. This is definitely the talk of the town. So Lily explains to Rufus that she's currently hung up the marital do not disturb sign and that they'll get over it when it comes time for New Year's resolutions, which is coming soon. And Rufus, we know, hasn't decided if he's going to the ball yet, but Bart walks up, wants to talk to Lily.
So Dan and Serena get to the gallery, and
this is okay. We said last episode that this Lexi is actually I don't know if it's Aria.
She's worse than Vanessa.
She is worse than Vanessa. She is so Aria Montgomery. I could imagine pretty much everything that happens here being Aria if she moved to New York.
And frankly, like if Aria and Hannah weren't bonded by everything that happened to them in high school, this is how I could see Aria talking about Hannah.
Yes, completely. It's not how I would see Hannah talking about Aria, but 1000% the other way. Yes.
The thing about what's happening is, to be fair, the pictures are atrocious. I hate them. They look like you're in the gap.
Oh my God.
So she is right.
Yeah, however, no, she's 100% on the money.
Everything that she's saying is about Serena and not about the actual pictures.
And the other thing is, it's like everything she's saying is about Serena, but it's also like, you are being a bitch because Aaron did take all these pictures and this is an installation and a gallery. So he must think that they're good. And there has been some post-production happening here because all of these are the pictures that we saw him taking when he first asked Serena to be, as you remember, his muse. And every picture is like her like arms out, like quirky girl, like striped shirt. But then like she's edited on her are like a pair of white Wayfarers. You know what I mean? Or like,
it's very weird.
All mortifying, to be frank. They're just the word, and they're huge, and they're just like, they feel very juvenile. Mm-hmm. I'm imagining Aaron to be like, I only do nude portraits. You know what I mean? Like, rather than
these. And also, we saw his last installation, and it was like this like big, dark, kind of like cool thing. And this is like,
well, he's got a new vibe like because he has a new muse.
Right.
And this is the type of art that the new muse pulls out of him.
Exactly.
Which is concerning, I think. So Lexi literally goes, I feel inspired to shop at the Gap or validate my self-image with overpriced cosmetics. Are you sure this one didn't just come with the frame? It does feel like the things you find at like TJ Maxx where you're like, okay, a rainbow giraffe blowing a bubble with a bubble gum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very, with the Eiffel Tower in the back, like that is what these feel like. And of course, as she's saying all of these things, Serena and Dan walk in and hear it.
And so at the same time, Nate and Vanessa are hanging out and
not hanging out. They are fully making out on the street.
Right.
V. You haven't told Jenny about this. You're trying to keep it secret. Thanksgiving is Gossip Girl's one day off a year. It's not Thanksgiving anymore. What are you actually thinking? This is crazy.
Even at the end, she says we are in Gossip Girl country. So
it's like, hey, damage is done, girly. Damage is done, girly.
And he says,
she wants it to happen.
Low key, she might.
Yeah.
To stick it to her.
Yeah.
So Nate asked her to come to the Snowflake Ball, and just like Dan, when it's convenient for Vanessa to enjoy these events and be excited about going, she would want to go, but she says she shouldn't, right? She says that because of Jenny, it's going to be weird.
And Nate's like, well, Jenny doesn't care. And Vanessa's like, well, I don't know what if she does. And so Nate's like, look, I'm happy. This is good. Let's just go with this. They start kissing again. Somebody snaps a pic, sends it to Gossip Girl. And that's when Vanessa's like, don't forget, we're still in Gossip Girl country.
Wouldn't you rather be with him on the basis of him picking you? Like he doesn't think there's another option right now.
Well, that's true.
Single. So like, it's like, it's not an honest relationship because you don't know what his residual feelings are for Jenny. And if
Jenny had gotten the letter, like where would they stand now? Together? And I think that's part of Vanessa's like what's going through her head, at least right now, you know? So Jenny is making the dress for Penelope. They're talking. Penelope's asking what happened with Jenny and Nate. And Jenny's like, it's like nothing, like whatever. And we find out Penelope is thinking of asking Nate to the ball. And then both of their phones beep and they both get, immediately the Gossip Girl blast of Vanessa and Nate kissing.
And it said something where I was like, Dan, an intern wrote this. It was like, Nate swapping, I hate this. Nate swapping spit with a girl, with like a girl from the outer boroughs. It said something like different than a girl, but it was like from the outer boroughs for sure. It said that.
Which Vanessa probably loved. She's like, I'm so relieved they don't think I'm one of you. So Lily and Bart are talking, and Bart's like, listen, he has to make amends here. He's like, it's been a really long time since I've been a husband. I fired my PI. I'm not going to be snooping. I'm not going to be controlling the kids. And Lily is just kind of like at her wit's end. She's like, well, it isn't enough. And he says, well, tell me what to do and I'll do it. How about after my trip, I'll go to the ball with you? And she's like, I have to go back to work. Like, we'll figure it out later. And she leaves. And then we have Aaron and Serena kind of discussing the Lexi thing. And he's like, look, I know Lexi can be a bit much. And Serena says, Blair is my best friend. I can handle much. But like Lexi is another level. And this is when, as Phoebe recalled in the beginning of the episode, Lexi is asking for this weird fucking, like she says it's like cat or something.
I know, it's very weird.
I'm like,
so what's the verdict?
Like it's a coffee
cat?
bean or a tea. But like, yeah, I'm just... Yeah, I'm very confused. Not me. I know. I was literally like, what is this obsession? But Aaron, it's obvious Lexi's really flirting with Dan. I'm like, interesting technique. Like, let me be as insufferable as I can and see if it makes you want to jump my bones. Like that's.
But she could immediately sense that it was going to work for Dan.
Yeah, she knew. And Aaron is like, listen, Serena, I just really want you to give Lexi a chance. And so Serena's like, okay, I'll do that if you agree to come to the dance with me, because I would feel a lot better if you would do that for me. And so he agrees, which I am just like, sorry, that's crazy. And when Lexi goes later, I'm like, in what world is this like an enticing offer to you? Like, I'm just so confused. But Dan has said he's going to give Lexi a walking tour of Brooklyn. And so they're all going to go.
Like, girl, I thought you were from here. I thought you were from here.
Wait, did she say that?
Or she's here to visit her parents.
Oh, interesting.
And she is fully an adult because, again, Aaron is fully an adult.
They're fully adults. It's weird. Anyway.
So Serena agrees to go. Vanessa is at the loft to invite Jenny to get food, and Jenny confronts her with the picture.
She's obviously seen the blast. She's so upset. She's like, how could you lie to me and be seeing Nate behind my back? You knew why he wasn't calling me. And Vanessa says, you did it first. Okay, Vanessa.
It's also like, hey, Vanessa, that's not true, though. Right there, like what Jenny is saying, you guys haven't been hooking up. So you're going to let Jenny think that as soon as Nate left the house, you guys picked things back up, which is way worse than what's actually happening.
True.
It's not actually worse than you taking the letter.
It's so much worse that on top of it, like I can keep adding layers as to why what you've done is way worse. And like none of those reasons even have to do with how old you are. It's like when like Lily and I would get in a fight and Mom's like, you're 10 years older than her. You can't move on. And it's like, okay, so I can't like stoop to her level because I'm 10 years older than her. It's like, Vanessa, that's what you're doing right now. You're like stooping to her level with this. And like, I know it's not as big of an age difference, but like also you're
Vanessa,
you're basically living as an adult, Vanessa. So like
Vanessa often acts like she is an adult. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
if you want to play,
she's like emancipated, I think.
If you want to play like you're a mature, like mature for your age, all this stuff, you can't also act like this.
No, definitely not. And so then Jenny says, are you really that desperate? And Vanessa says, are you really that jealous? And Vanessa's like, by the way,
Vanessa is terrible.
The ball and I'm going to go and leave.
Vanessa, her comebacks are so bad. Are you really that jealous? That's just like, can we be smarter?
No, she's hurt.
A little
bitch,
quicker.
She's hurt. So Blair comes home and LOL, Chuck is playing the piano in Blair's house. She's not there. She walks in, he's fully playing the grand piano. It's awesome.
So funny.
And they decide that they're going to choose each other's dates because who knows the other better than them. And Dorota's
and guys, what's the prize on the table? Dorota?
Oh, I'll tell you. Here are the stakes. If Chuck likes his date that Blair chooses for him, then she gets Chuck's limo for a month. And if Blair likes her date that Chuck chooses for her, he gets Dorota for a month.
Crazy.
Dorota listening to this, the blood drains from her face. She's like, no, literally. And so those are the terms of the agreement, and they can now go figure out who these ideal dates are.
So now we're at the freaking Brooklyn tour. Stupid. And Serena is stupid. Serena is telling everybody how Aaron agreed to take her to the ball. And Lexi's like, sounds like something I would kind of like to go to. Dan, who I've known for 4 hours.
I love high school dances. I literally love high school dances. I thought you guys knew that.
I've literally been to 8 of them.
I've been to 8 and I'm trying to go for double digits. So hello. So Dan's like, well, he in lieu of asking her to actually be his date, he's like, why don't the 4 of us all go together? And Serena's like, okay, I'm fine with it. And Dan and Lexi go off to like keep talking or whatever, and Aaron and Serena hang back. And Aaron, okay, like chill a little bit with this. Aaron goes, I have a feeling Dan will be more than fine with it. Lexi likes to sleep with guys on the first date. She claims it's a political statement against male-dominated sexual hypocrisy. And Serena says, can't she just vote? Which is, again, okay, Serena, you're getting kind of funny. What were you going to say, though?
Well, I was just clarifying. He was like, are you sure you're, like, cool with this? And she was like, yeah, it's not going to be, like, that's when he says, well, Dan's going to be, like, Serena says, I'm fine with it. And
if Dan,
he says he's going to be more than fine with it.
Can you hear this thunder?
Like, but what I think is interesting about Aaron here is, like, he's assuming that Dan is, like, horned up. Like,
I know.
You don't know Dan well enough to be like, he's gonna be like, he's only had sex with one person.
Yeah,
this actually might be
again, like he's
a little overwhelming.
17 years old, like, and that is the other. Aaron's like, well, you know, I'm used to having like multiple different girls multiple times a day, so like I can't imagine anyone would have a problem with this. It's like right.
And Serena's like, yeah, and we can we talk about that?
Yeah. Let's.
We actually haven't.
Quick sidebar. Yeah. So Bart is leaving the penthouse. He's going to Miami. And Chuck's like, I don't really think you should go. Bad idea. Your marriage is on the rocks.
Sweet.
And Bart's like, hey, Chuck, shut the fuck up. I know you're the one who exposed my safe. And the elevator door shuts. And Chuck's like, perfect. Perfect.
So Jenny is bringing the finished dress to Penelope's apartment. And she's like, okay, you can go. And
Jenny's like, the housekeeper showed me in. And she's like, then she can show you out. And it's Penelope and Hazel laying on the bed. Isabel's in the back trying on her dress. And they say, tell your friend Vanessa it's not wise to fish in our pond.
She's not my friend. She's not. She might be my sister, but she is not my friend.
Well, okay then. If she's not your friend, we're thinking of a way to send her a message. Like maybe you have ideas. And as they're in the middle of talking about this, Isabel comes out in this dress, which is a gorgeous dress. It's a silver one-shoulder sparkly dress, but it is entirely see-through.
Which and I do people are wearing this actively on the
was
carpets.
like, this is like a dress that like someone would buy off the rack and be like, this is like what I want it to look like, and I'm wearing this out. And so even at the time, I remember thinking this is like not embarrassing enough. I guess like
it's not.
You know what I mean?
The thing is like later on, Vanessa knows it's not embarrassing. She's happy to make herself a victim out of it. But she does not move from the spotlight like someone who's
girl,
embarrassed.
You know, you look good. Like
she actually
you look good. Like whatever, you know. Yeah, exactly. She does a full like 360 catwalk, you know. And so they're like, oh, I think that, well, Jenny says, well, what do you think Vanessa's wearing? She's going with Nate. And so they have the idea to get the dress to Vanessa, which Jenny does not love at first. She's like, first of all, I don't want my name attached to that because I know about a thing called lining. Like I wouldn't ever make a dress like that. But also it just like, it doesn't sit totally right with Jenny, which is so funny because every time Vanessa does something shitty, I don't really see her having those moments, but okay, like whatever. So we're in Blair's room.
Yes, and she is like, I know every inch of Chuck and his heart, and I will be able to locate the perfect girl. And Serena's, of course, like barely. Immediately,
she's painting her nails on Blair's bed.
Crazy.
I'm like, I hope Blair hasn't seen what you're doing. I mean, I can't imagine she's going to be cool with this. But Serena's like, it's just so hard to see someone new with your ex. Because, of course, now she's jealous that Dan has a girl that's interested in him. Classic. And Serena's like, do you think I should give Dan a heads up about Lexi? And Blair goes, yes, guys hate being surprised with sex on a first date. I'm like, Serena, chill the fuck out. And we find out in this moment, Serena and Aaron have not slept together yet. And I'm like, is it because Blair's like, why not? He's hot and you like him. I'm like, is it because maybe Serena is a minor and he's a full-blown adult, or like, you know, I don't know.
There is that.
But I do think it's interesting that they haven't, because Serena's like, why can, you know, you have to compete to win the prize. So I'm like, seems like she'd put that on the table, but okay.
So Jenny goes to see Vanessa at the gallery and gives her the dress. And Vanessa's confused. And she's like, hey, by the way, we are not cool, but literally my hands got to moving before I even knew who the dress was for. And here I am.
Up all night making this before I
felt like a Chef Boyardee can on my way here.
That's funny. So she's
you.
like, just consider this a peace offering. You're gonna look great, whatever. And Vanessa takes the dress. Blair is running an actual insane meeting with Dorota, trying to pick the perfect girl for Chuck. She's like screaming, pacing back and forth. Dorota has joined a bunch of Facebook groups trying to locate the perfect date.
As she's walking around, she's just describing herself as Chuck's
she's like,
perfect person.
This has to be Chuck's dream girl. Intelligent, but not a bookworm. Strong-willed, but still feminine. And equal. He likes brunettes with deep brown eyes. Dorota's like, so that's like, you. Like, no. It's someone else.
No. Man, 2 lines.
and counting. The other thing I want to say is I want to know who Dorota is catfishing as to join these Facebook groups. Like, she had to make a profile to look like a high schooler to get into these groups. So, like, is she going and taking somebody's photos and creating a whole new... And then I'm like, how far is she going with that? Like, when she's bored, is she just, like, start messaging people as that? Like, I don't know. Anywho, Dan's calling Serena because he rented a tux for the occasion, and he wanted to check in with Serena and make sure like she was cool with the Lexi thing and everything. And Serena's like, of course it's fine. And Dan's like really excited. And when Aaron comes in his tux, she like keeps thanking him for coming. And I'm just like, stop this. Like, again, if he is your boyfriend, I always thought it was weird when girls were like, I'm bringing my college boyfriend to prom with me, because I'm just like, I don't know. I just always thought it was weird. Like, I'm like, go with a friend or something. Like, I get it. But like, it's weird to have people who are not in high school going to high school events. I just think you can't hear this.
No, I heard that one.
It is crazy. It is so loud. But anyway, she like keeps thanking him for coming. And I'm like, it's giving desperate. It's giving like, I know you're doing this thing that you don't want to do at all. And like, it's just like, I don't know. I just don't like it. And so she tells him that she wants to thank him properly later tonight, and he knows what that means.
Yes. So then we go to Brooklyn, and the dress fits like a glove. Fits like a glove. And she tells Jenny that she's always been jealous of her and Dan because they seem to have everything, which is like the last thing Jenny wants to hear.
Growing up, you had it all. And it's like, Vanessa, growing up, you tried your hardest not to have it all. That's your whole thing. Like, you're like, I don't want things. I don't want blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want my parents. I don't want any of that. Like, you probably could have had all that too, girl.
And then Nate calls, and Jenny sees his caller ID. And she leaves.
Like,
and Vanessa answers and is like, I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
This is also what I hate when
tonight in person.
When she and Dan have these moments where like they realize they have to do the right thing and they feel like such a like white knight. It's like annoying to me that I
totally agree.
Like they always act like they were always going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Once they get things out of it, like them doing the wrong thing, once they get what they want out of that, then they'll do the right thing and they want all the credit like they did at the whole time.
Well, it's like you really only do the right thing once you feel bad because whoever you're doing this thing to appears to be doing something nice for you or isn't, it's like, Vanessa, you're only doing this because Jenny just made you a dress. And like, I don't know. So Lily is at the penthouse. She's waiting for Bart because they're going to go to the Snowflake Ball together because he said he would, and he's nowhere to be found. So she calls like his secretary or whatever and finds out that he's in a meeting with Andrew Tyler. And Lily's like, is that who I think it is? And she goes back into her file and finds like an invoice from the PI. So it is his private investigator. So she then calls his assistant and is like, plans have changed. I'm not waiting. He shouldn't come to the ball. And she goes.
Dang. So at the ball, Penelope,
True
Hazel.
Winter Wonderland. Do we have a Winter Wonderland dance in Pretty Little Liars? We did, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's right when Allie comes back.
And she kisses Hottie Holbrook. And then we never hear anything else about that again.
I know. I just watched that episode, actually.
Okay,
Crazy.
Yeah. So this is that, basically. We're having a true Winter Wonderland. The Blair's minions are all like waiting for Vanessa's big moment. The plan is when Vanessa walks in, they're going to throw the spotlight on her, and then everyone's going to see that
their plan is as soon as she walks in to draw everybody's attention to her and make her look beautiful.
I'm like, you guys do know she's going to look stunning. And like, I am just like, it doesn't seem like everybody would be staring and laughing at the girl whose dress was see-through. I just like don't, especially because of how she looks. Sorry, she looks amazing. Like she's got a banging bod. Like what's the big fucking deal?
She's definitely like wearing the right undergarments. She's not in like embarrassing underwear probably.
No, like I just really think she's gonna make it out of this one okay.
Like Nate is gonna be like
hubba hubba, which he basically is, because later he's like, it's fine with me if there is some lighting, you know? So Blair approaches Chuck. It's time for them to introduce the dates they chose for each other. We meet Justine, who walks up, and I'm not trying to be mean, but she is a less hot version of Blair.
Yeah, but she does look strikingly like Leighton Meester.
Yes, and she's got,
like, she definitely says,
she's
like,
styled that way as well.
When people ask her who her celebrity doppelganger is, it probably was always
Leighton Meester once. That's definitely what she says. And then Chuck's pick walks up.
It took me a second to realize he was supposed to be a Chuck.
Really? I knew because he like had the like look down, but he doesn't like,
I guess, but he doesn't really look like Chuck.
No. So we meet them, and it's like obvious what happened here, which is funny. So everybody's dancing, and Lexi finds out that Serena gave Dan the green light to like sleep with Lexi tonight. Or no, sorry. No. Lexi has found out that Serena gave Aaron the green lights for tonight, which I don't fucking like, because it means that Aaron turned around and told Lexi, I'm gonna have sex with Serena tonight. Like, I don't like that.
Just like I know people have their opinions on this, but like I don't love when guys and girls are like best friends, because the girls are typically, unless it's a gay man, of course, but like the girls just tend to be the Amanda Betulas of the world, who like present themselves as one of the guy, and they're just like it's just gross to me. And then to go tell Dan that his ex-girlfriend is gonna like, it's just crass to me.
I totally agree. And I think it's just not appropriate to, like, at this point, you need to have some respect for your girlfriend. You're aware, like, if you and Lexi are older and you guys talk about sex all the time and you have like free thinking about it and whatever, again, let's look around. Remember, we're at a high school dance. Look around, find one person with braces, and remember that like maybe I don't need to like be gossiping about my sex life with my high school girlfriend. I don't know. I just think it's like, and I'm also on top of it, she's your ex. Like, you guys have had sex. So it's like weird. And the way that Lexi's been speaking about Serena, not that I'm like trying to have Serena's back, but
it's
the way that she's been speaking
like
about Serena is really negatively. And so I can imagine that like when Aaron told her that, she's like, you guys haven't had sex yet. You know what I mean? Like, I know. For sure. So I just don't like it. And then Lexi tells Dan this, and Dan, up until this point, hadn't realized that Serena and Aaron hadn't had sex. And what Dan would have realized watching this is like, neither Serena nor Dan have had sex with anybody else since each other. And so it feels like they're like breaking the seal.
Was Serena having sex that summer in the Hamptons?
I would have assumed so, but she said some things later that make it seem like they haven't.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
We didn't. But I think no, because she was single. Remember, because Blair was like begging her to go out with the lifeguard and like the whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess in my brain she was like traipsing around. Okay,
no.
But I felt like Dan's reaction, I think, felt like kind of sweet and protective to me. Of like, he was like also weirded out that she was telling him that.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I figured they had, but I don't really care. Like whatever.
So Rufus and Lily meet up.
Chuck. Oh, really quick. Blair is talking to Chuck. She says, I'm your one and only, so a Canal Street knockoff seemed like the only option, about Justine. And they decide, they like have the option to call off the bet, but they decide they will not, because neither one of them will ever concede to the other. And then, pick it up there,
Rufus and Lily are talking, and she tells Ruf that she's going to leave Bart.
Damn.
Crazy.
First we're hearing of it. She said, I'm leaving. I'm doing it for me. I don't expect anything except maybe a dance. And he pulls her in right there, and she just starts crying, like on his shoulder.
I don't know if this was intentional, but his suit makes him look a lot like a groom, and she's in white, like a white gown. So it kind of looks like a wedding dance.
What could have been? What could have been? Aaron and Lexi are now dancing, and Serena, I am like, if Aaron and Lexi are dancing, why aren't Serena and Dan just dancing? Like, why are they both just watching from the sidelines? Because they're probably looking at dance.
Because they're probably looking at them, thinking it's weird that our dates that are exes with each other are slow dancing right now.
That don't go to the school, and we brought them here.
And they're here with two people who they're actually romantically involved with right now.
It's just bizarre. So Dan is like, yeah, Lexi told me about yours and Aaron's plans for tonight.
You know, it's like Lexi and Aaron are making Dan and Serena feel like because they're older, they're like, this is what like mature 100%. People do. Like, I can dance with my ex and like doesn't have to be weird because we're adults.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, exactly. So Dan's like, yeah, Lexi told me about your plans. And Serena goes, I am going to miss her when she's gone, which is also funny. And Dan's like, listen, if there's anything you want to talk about, I'm here. And so Serena's like, okay, well, if I'll play ball. If Lexi is going to tell you this, then I'm going to tell you this. I know Lexi has a more come hither attitude about sex, and she's planning on seducing you tonight. And of course, I'm like, Serena, what did you think was going to happen? Because Dan's immediately like, oh, he's like flattered. He's like a little pumped, and it annoys Serena. And he was like, well, I always assumed or hoped that I'd have sex again one day. And and Serena gets mad. And she goes, well, I just thought sex was meaningful to you. Have fun. And walks away. I'm like, okay, so you want to have sex with Aaron, but you don't want anybody else to be like, it's just stupid. But it would hurt more that it was Lexi, because Lexi does seem to have it out for Serena. So I do understand. I would also be mad.
Yeah.
And then Lexi comes up to grab Dan so they can go get drinks. So I'm like, and again, we're at a high school party. You're probably getting punched. That hasn't been spiked, girly. But she's probably sober too, because Aaron's sober.
Right. Jenny gets to the ball, and she's kind of like having some second thoughts about the whole thing.
She looks old sick. Woman in like Snow White who has like the black cloak on and whatever, and she's like hiding in the shot like the witch. That's how she's like moving.
Guys, I hate that I reference this movie all the time, but the scene in The Passion of the Christ when everything's happening to Jesus,
the devil going through the crowd,
the crowd and watching, and
everything. He turns around and you see that it's like the baby face, but like old.
Well, even before, like just his like Jeffree Star face, where he's like sulking through the crowds. That's how Jenny's moving through the crowds.
No, it totally is. It's like. It's so bizarre. Sorry, my iPad died, so I'm switching over to my phone.
So, Vanessa comes up to Jenny, and this, to make matters worse for Jenny, she says that she's going to break up with Nate because
Wait, really quick before that happens, I have to say this. Vanessa comes up and goes, what are you doing here? Hey, Vanessa, this is Jenny's school, right? Like, what are you doing here? Like,
her dad is here. Like, it's a family affair.
Yeah, Dan, her brother's here. Her dad is here.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? This is her school, bitch. And that's when, Vanessa's like, I'm ending things with Nate because I never meant to hurt you. But it's like,
why did we lead into this conversation with such hostility?
What are you doing here?
If then you were going to say...
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's just so funny. So... the minions are actively looking for Vanessa because it's time. And Penelope goes, how long does that subway thing take? Because they don't think she's there yet. And Vanessa's making her way through the crowd to find Nate because she needs to tell him something. And she's like, I need to tell you something and I need you not to say anything. And she starts like crying and she says she's never felt this way about anyone before. And it made her do something she can't believe she did. And I'm like, well, I can believe it. I can believe it, Vanessa. She pulls out the letter. Says, I took this before she saw it, and I'm sorry. She then walks away, and as she walks away, Jenny tries to stop her. Jenny calls out her name. The spotlight switches on, and Vanessa is caught in the spotlight. Snow is falling, and she's got this see-through dress on. But I wrote, but low-key, who cares? She looks amazing. And everyone's laughing at her. Jenny tries to give her jacket. Vanessa takes her sweet time getting out of there because she's like, and take a minute to look back at it, babe.
Hey guys, like, she's eating this up.
If she were to post this look on Instagram today, it would go viral. Like, it would be like, this is the hottest winter trend. Like, she looks amazing. So who cares?
Literally. So then Nate confronts Jenny and says that he is like frustrated with Vanessa because she lied and wait, am I reading this right?
Jenny tries to explain it to Nate because Nate's like, did you do that to her? And Jenny's like, well, and starts to explain it. Nate's like, so what? Did she deserve to be publicly humiliated? She's your friend. And then he gives Jenny the letter and he's like, there's no reason to tell you now, but Vanessa stole it and she felt so bad that she came and told me the truth. And honestly, I'm glad you didn't get the letter because you're not who I thought you were. Which is a little much, but...
I agree. Especially because I feel like Nate, I don't know if he did, but like I think it's pretty obvious Jenny didn't come up with the scheme on her own.
Right. And it's also like, is this the version of her? Like, what about when you found her topless in an adult's apartment having photos taken of her? Was that the Jenny you thought she was? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's interesting, like, where you draw the line and when, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And he says that she's glad that she didn't get the letter because, oh, right, you literally just said that.
Sure did. So Blair and Chuck are looking for their dates, and when they find them, they are making out. And Blair goes, "This is the worst out-of-body experience ever," as if she's watching herself make out with Chuck. And they just like kind of realize, like, Justine and this guy are like, "Look, we really like each other. Thanks so much for the hookup." And Blair's like, "Why can't we work it out?" And by the way, Chuck is wearing a glittery suit. This is the first time I noticed it. Did you notice? Covered in glitter.
100%.
Hilarious.
I mean, that's his winter suit. That's his only winter suit.
Well, Phoebe, don't be ridiculous. It's Chuck Bass, but all of his winter suits are embedded with glitter. They have tons of glitter, of course.
So, then we go to Lily and Rufus, and she is like kind of lamenting about how she is like, I don't want to hurt Bart, but he's hurt me and all this stuff.
And she's like,
had an effect on the kids.
Eric really actually likes Bart, and he likes Chuck, and like, I don't know, it's gonna suck doing this to him, and like, I don't know, I've always tried to do the right thing, but then I end up here. And Rufus says, just smile and fake it, okay? But she says, tell me something, Rufus. And he says, what? And she says, something you shouldn't. Okay. And he does. He says that he actually never wanted to weigh in on her relationship with Bart because he was scared of what he'd say. And he let her go on her wedding day because he didn't know if he could give her what she needed, and he didn't know what he needed, and that he's regretted it ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So honestly, now's the perfect time for them to get together. Serena and Dan are about to have sex with other people, break that spell.
Right.
You know, it's Jenny and Eric are really in a good place. This would be the time. Other than her being married, of course.
Right. And so Chuck is overhearing all of this, by the way. Great. Oh, great.
Yes.
And calls Bart. And Bart is like, what? Delete my number. I've told you a million times. Yes. I don't like when you call me on my cell phone.
I hate you. But Bart, by the way, when Chuck calls him, he's in the limo and with the PI. And he's telling the PI the meeting isn't actually what Lily thought. He's telling the PI that he doesn't need him anymore. And the PI is like, okay, but I did find something I think you're going to want to see. And that's when Chuck calls and is like, Lily's here and you need to get here. And like how quickly Bart changes his tune. He hangs up. He's like, what do you have? Show me. I want to see it. Okay. Crazy. Like, so then we go back to Chuck at the dance and Lily stops him. And Chuck's like, you know, you've been good for him. You've been good for us. I've always liked you. He's on his way here. You owe him an explanation.
So then we go outside. Vanessa is about to leave and she's stopped by Nate and they are talking. Nate tells her that he wants to be with her. He's made his decision. Jenny's out of the freaking picture.
He says, when you walked away tonight, all I could think was she's the one I want to be with. And they kiss and they're going to go get a drink somewhere. And she's like, maybe somewhere where there's no backlighting. And he goes, well, maybe a little backlighting. And they drive away and there is the old hag from Snow White standing across the street watching them drive away and kiss. She's got an apple. She's like, how do I get it to take a bite? Yeah. And Jenny, by the way, the bangs. I have a real gripe with the bangs. They are so far down her face. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I know it isn't comfortable. I know. And they're
to
have them in straightened.
To have them in the position that you, I'm assuming, think looks best, like, has to be itchy.
It's also a huge commitment to keep
because you know when you when you want to hold your hair a certain way, so you like have to keep your head still and your neck kind of starts to like get a little achy, like you can get a headache from like trying to keep your head one way. That's like what she's doing all the time.
I know it's got and you know she's got the urge to like shake her head.
She sleeps like Caroline in that picture after her birthday party.
My birthday party where I had to keep my rock star hairdo for school.
That is one of the absolute best pictures.
It's like, okay, sorry, it is so cute though that I was like, I have to keep this look for school. Mom, can you help me? Mom helps me set up the bed so that my neck will not move while I'm asleep. I have like the airplane like neck pillow, a bunch of those pillows on my arms so that I can't roll over. And I am like sitting up, completely upright, like I'm in a hospital bed, hands down, eyes closed, pink eyeshadow on, and my hair in this hairdo because I want to wear it to school. I'm like, girl, I bet you had your ass beat that day when you walked in and that's what you looked like. Like, I cannot.
I mean, we may as well have strapped her into her bed.
How did I not wake up when they come and turn the lights on and take that picture? I know I didn't allow it. There was nothing funny about it.
You might have been pretending to be asleep.
No, I don't think I would have allowed that picture because I would have been like, what's so funny? Like, what are you take a picture of me tomorrow when I'm going to school serving looks? No, I'm not ready yet. What? Like, it just wouldn't make sense to me. So anyway, the minions come in and swarm around Jenny. And they're like, you tried to save her, so you're pathetic and we fucking hate you. And Jenny, even with what she just witnessed from Vanessa and what she just found out Vanessa did, she says to them, Vanessa is 10 times the woman they'll ever be. And they say to her, easy for you to say when you've been hiding out in Brooklyn. And Jenny's like, you know what? I think I'm going to try something new. And maybe we'll change that. And I'll see you guys around.
I'll be seeing you around.
Oh, Queen Jenny's about to show up, which actually is a moment where I do kind of like her styling. When she's got the long hair.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's also like bad news for Jenny. So strap the hell in.
So then we see Blair and Chuck are dancing together because they don't want to put this flame out quite yet.
He's like, I wouldn't change us if it meant losing what we have. And she says, what do we have, Chuck? And he says, tonight. So shut up and dance with me. And she goes and they dance. And it's like, they just imagine like being at the school and like seeing the moment that Blair and Chuck starts dancing. And it's like two people you're so scared of, but it's also like, they're like, what is going on with them? Like, you know, there's so much chatter about Blair and Chuck.
I want to go to this school. I want to go to this school.
I know. So Lily's watching the dance and she gets a call from a restricted number and she answers it and gets some crazy fucking news. We don't know what it is right away, but she's like visibly shocked and horrified, it seems.
And Dan and Serena are talking and she apologizes for everything that she said earlier. And they both admit that the night that they had sex with each other was the best night of their freaking life.
Wow. And yeah, he's like, they're about to leave because Aaron goes to get a cab for Serena and Aaron, and Lexi's like, I'll go get our cab. And so they leave.
Yeah, it was so like gross and weird the way that she said it.
It was so gross and weird. And so
like, Aaron, Aaron, my ex-boyfriend, let's go get cabs for our high school date so we can go go get railed.
Precisely. I actually wrote here, they both are like, okay, let's just go and clear the air knowing we're both getting cracked tonight. That's what Serena and Dan basically said to each other.
Wait,
and then Dan like stops her right before she leaves. No, I haven't.
Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but guys, if you've seen it, there is a scene that is very similar to what Caroline just said, and I'm like laughing and thinking about
epic. I can't wait. So Dan like stops her to leave, to say that it was the greatest night, and then he says it feels like we're cutting some mythological tie, and that's what makes me think that it's the first time that they're both, because she's being so weird about it too. I'm like, that I can't think of another reason why she's not having sex with Aaron right away, unless it's like there's a part of her that's like not quite ready to totally cut the tie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So Lily runs up, she's looking for Chuck, and the last line of the episode, which I'm like, oh my God, like things are about to just get so bad. Like things are about to get so bad. She says, Bart's been in an accident. And that's the episode. And that's
the episode.
Great. Like I just keep envisioning Chuck's journey from here on out.
I know.
And I'm just like, guys, we all just, it's going to be it's going to be a rough watch for a minute. I think about that all the time. And I also think about the one where he's like, and Blair's like holding him. And it's like, he's about to be the nastiest man in the world. Oh God, it's so brutal. Is that I bet that's next episode.
It is. That's what I got the
I didn't know if we'd like have an episode in between. Okay. Read us a synopsis for next week.
All right, next week is called Oh Brother, Where Bart Thou? Okay, fuck AI, guys. I'm so fucking tired of this.
So true. Clankers.
I have to fully go into IMDb these days.
Anthony keeps trying to convince me that clankers is like a slur. I'm like, no, it isn't.
Yeah, for robots.
For robots who I don't care about. Sorry if you can hear me.
Who don't have feelings. Okay, following the death of Bart Bass, Blair decides she has something important to say to Chuck, but soon realizes it's not a good time. When Serena decides to travel to Argentina with Aaron, Dan decides to express his feelings for her. Meanwhile, Cyrus and Eleanor take a huge step in their relationship, and Rufus discovers a secret that Lily's been keeping from everybody for a long time.
Ooh.
When do we get our Brittany Snow episode?
I don't know. I think it must have been a little bit later. I want to say like season 4 because it's when Lily's sister comes to visit, and because the spinoff was going to be about them, like the Rhodes girls.
Gossip Girl must have been successful enough.
That's what I'm saying. Like it had to be a little bit. Like it was already successful, but I would say.
No offense, everybody, but I'm glad that Brittany Snow didn't get the chance to do that because I think it would have changed her career.
Changed her career for sure. She definitely wouldn't have done Pitch Perfect. That's for sure.
Which we needed her to do.
Which
I don't even know if she would have been Amber Von Tussle.
Needed way more. Both of those needed way more. Yeah. Oh, Pitch Perfect is so good.
Her and Hairspray is on my retroactive awards list.
She's epic in Hairspray. Oh, I love that fucking movie. Anyway, all right, guys, that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed. I know this was a quick one. I don't know.
Not even an hour.
Really know why. Sorry, but last week was longer. And anyway, this Friday is our final Summer Fridays of the summer. Okay. We are going to be figuring out what our watch and, recap schedule is for traders because we can't possibly not be talking about this every week. Like, you'll have to physically restrain me from speaking about it. So we're figuring that out. But in the meantime, just know that you're going to want to tune in on Friday because it is the last Summer Fridays. It's been so fun. We appreciate you guys listening to these episodes, and things are about to heat up in Gossip Girl. And I'm just going to say, I feel like you and I are like hitting our stride with Gossip Girl in terms of how we talk about it. And like, it feels more like we're like having more fun talking about it. And like, do you feel like that? I know I'm like so concerned. I ask you this every week, but like, I'm just waiting for the day that you like affirmatively respond to me. You're like, yes.
Yeah, I am having
hasn't
fun.
Come yet. Okay, well, that's great to hear. I love
just
to hear
not
that.
as much fun as Pretty Little Liars, but that's just you probably are having more fun with this than you.
I also just realized there's such different like the plot twists and things in Pretty Little Liars. Like they're crazy in Gossip Girl, but in Pretty Little Liars it was like
absurd.
Actually, like theater of the absurd. Yeah. So it's just a different beast.
Well, Brendan and I have had to stop watching it when the sun goes down because I've been coming home and like being like paranoid.
I can't with you. I actually can't with you. And I'm a scaredy cat, but you have seen that fucking show so many times. You've rewritten it in your own head. We have our own version of the actions that happen in Pretty Little Liars. Just replace. You're still scared.
I think it's like I'll go over to her house and we'll watch it, and
on
then
the drive home you think Toby is sitting in your back seat.
I'll drive home, and then my walk from my car to my front door, and then I'm like, is there anybody in my apartment? And then
like I get it if you've watched like. I just think that like to attribute that to Pretty Little Liars is kind of insane. It's low-key insane for you.
It was also scaring her, so we're not just stopping for me.
Well, she's not seen the show.
I did notice that I was like getting that feeling of like, why am I always so like paranoid and scared? Oh, because I watched Pretty Little Liars until like I immediately go to bed.
You've seen it. It's like it's gone past the point of I've seen it so many times it doesn't scare me, and now it's like I don't know what's real and fake. This feels like I'm living my own life, and I think someone is stalking me, and that's why it's scary now because the lines are so blurred. And so I am gonna call someone for you because I'm deeply concerned now. But I also want to remind you guys that as fall is coming up, a lot of people love to rewatch Gossip Girl, and you should tell everybody about this podcast, but. A lot of people also rewatch Pretty Little Liars, and just because we're currently covering Gossip Girl doesn't mean that, number one, Pretty Little Liars doesn't make an appearance in all our episodes, but number two, we've got the whole catalog, y'all, so it's a great time to go revisit that and share it with your friends, and, just remember that that's still there for you. When you want to rewatch the show, you should probably re-listen to your favorite podcast, too. And that's us.
Breaking news, everybody, Nick and Andrea's back together.
Well, that's what streets are saying. And by streets, I mean like the Nicolandria Hive. Yeah, but I don't think that means they're together.
No, they're like sitting next to each other at a wedding.
Yeah, they can be sitting next to each other without being together.
I don't know.
He's like, no. They're sitting next to each other. Okay, and they said they're friends.
This won't be breaking. They all say that. This won't be breaking news in the next Tuesday, but it's breaking news right now on Sunday, August 16th. Right.
All right, guys, I got a jet. Thank you so much for listening. We love you so much. Please leave us a review, and we will see you next week.
And splat.